Before you talk of naturalization in the UK, you must pass the Life in the UK test. The UK government wants to be sure that you actually know a place you want to call home. Hello beautiful people, it's your girl Ada, and I'm here again today just to tell you something that is very, very important for every single immigrant in the UK. Okay, so if you're in the UK, you're just new in the UK, you've been here for 4 years in the UK, I'm sure you must have heard, or you've learned, you've heard somebody say this, or you've come across this online or somewhere, and this is what the Life in the UK test. The Life in the UK test. That's what I'm talking about today, guys. And before I was able to man up to be able to sit down here and talk to you about the Life in the UK test, of course, I've passed my Life in the UK test. Yeah, I know. At some point, it felt like it was going to be so difficult to pass. But I'm here today to give you some tricks and tips which I actually put together to be able to pass this Life in the UK test once and for all. So if this is a content you find interesting, please stick and watch this video to the very end. Like, subscribe, and share this video to everybody who might be in the process of writing their Life in the UK test. So let's get right into it. So what is a Life in the UK test? A Life in the UK test is a test that talks about the history of the UK. From the very onset of the United Kingdom, what the United Kingdom is all about, its components, its principles, its rules, its laws, and everything. And this is a test that is compulsory for every immigrant. Before then, you're granted an indefinite leave to remain and eventually your British citizenship. Before you talk of naturalization in the UK, you must pass the Life in the UK test. The UK government wants to be sure that you actually know a place you want to call home. Okay, so before you call the UK your home, you must know about them. You need to know about the origin, the people who found this country, all the struggles they've been through, all the fights they have fought to make this place what it is today. For you to want to naturalize and be in it, you need to know all these things. Before then, you call yourself a UK citizen. So that is why this test is compulsory for every immigrant to do. Now, what is the cost for the Life in UK test? The cost for the Life in UK test is just £50. The cost for the Life in UK test is £50. When can you write your Life in UK test? You can actually apply to write your Life in UK test just from whenever you come in, whenever you become a resident, whenever you have a BRP, your residence card in the UK, you are qualified to write your Life in the UK test. You can actually write your Life in the UK test and keep it to use it in the next 4 years. It does not expire, okay? It doesn't expire. So you can choose to write it early, or you can choose to write it just before you begin to apply for your indefinite leave to remain in the UK. It doesn't expire and it's just £50. What happens if you fail your Life in the UK test? If you fail your Life in the UK test, you will not be able to apply for your indefinite leave to remain. So at times they say it's better to start looking for a haystack when it's still daylight. So if you think you're not too confident about this test, you don't want to just crash read, maybe you should start preparing for it and writing it on time while you still have time before you get to the period where you want to apply for your indefinite leave to remain. So if you fail your Life in the UK test, you just have to register and write another one, and you have to keep registering and writing another one until the year you decide to pass. I know how it sounds, I know, but yeah, that's the truth. You have to keep writing until the day you decide to pass. And now you might be wondering, what is the pass mark for the Life in UK test? The Life in UK test is about 24 questions. And this is a multi-choice questions, and it's a computer-based exam. So the pass mark for the Life in UK test is 18 out of the 24. You need to get 18 questions right out of the 24. If you get 17 questions right and then you fail the rest, I'm sorry, you failed. So you need to get at least 18 questions right to be able to get a pass mark. Now you're wondering some of the study materials which I use. I'll be leaving the link of all the apps which I use during my preparation for the Life in the UK test. Some of them have multiple question banks. Just try your best to go through all these question banks, because I find out that some of the questions are actually repeated. It might not be verbatim, but you definitely, when you see it, you know, yes, I've seen this question somewhere. Maybe you want to actually read the book, you can get the study materials online as well. I'll be leaving all this link at the description or at the end of this video. But if you're somebody, you're old school, you want to have the book in your hand, you want to read it, I also did that. I actually bought a copy of the book. As you can see, this is a copy of the book. It says 2023 edition of the Life in the UK Test Study Guide, the essential study guide for the British citizenship test. It's not expensive. At the time when I bought it, it was around £9, and I actually bought it off Amazon. So if you're an old school like me and you want to have the hard copy to be able to read by yourself and flip through the pages, it does have diagrams, which actually at times makes it easier to memorize. You can actually order this book off Amazon. It's very handy. It also comes with past questions, like a whole lot of question banks as well, about 16 question banks and answers to these questions as well. And it also comes with glossary, where you can check meaning of terms, and a section where that is all about the dates. So it helps you to memorize the dates, because it's all about dates, it's all about history. At times, I know things like that are a little bit difficult to stick up there. So having the book in your hand and being able to scribble and write on them might be easier for you. So if you're somebody like this, you might want to order this book off Amazon. Go there, type Life in the UK Test Study Guide, and you will find it. All you have to do is start on time to study for your Life in the UK Test, and I'm sure you'll be able to ace it. It's actually not as difficult as I was thinking it was, because I actually found it easier, but that was only because I studied so hard for it. Okay, so study hard for it, so you'll be able to write once and then know you're done. You're done with it. You really don't want to go back and forth writing this. And if you've already booked your Life in UK Test and you feel you're not confident enough to write it, please, you still have the option of shifting your date, moving your date forward. So let's say you booked it for this Friday, and you think, oh no, I didn't get the time to study. You can actually go online at least 3 days before the date of your exam. You can move it further to maybe another week or 2 weeks before, until you're confident enough to be able to go and approach this exam, write it once and for all, and be able to apply, of course, for your indefinite leave to remain. So I do hope you find this content useful enough to want to subscribe, like, and of course share to everybody who also need this information. Thank you very much for sticking with me, and until my next video, see you again next time. Bye.